If it happens in wrestling, it happens here. This is the Superkick Society. Welcome in and welcome all to this week's episode of the Superkick Society. I'm one of your hosts, Cam Sterling, joined by the other host, Josh Alderman. How you doing today, Josh? It's a pretty jam-packed week, so.
Hey, not too bad. Start of the new year. So far, so good
hmm
for me. How about you?
Well, it's pretty euphoric seeing a Smackdown episode that topped a Raw episode. I can't see, or I don't really know if I've seen that in a few months at this point,
Not in
but
a while.
it was a good week in wrestling, to say the least.
Oh,
Ended
yeah.
out the new year on a bang on several different promotions. So let's get right into it. What do you want to talk about first? I'm going to hand it off to you.
You know what? You mentioned it off the top. Let's go SmackDown. Starting
Let's do it
hot.
because that was a jam-packed episode of
Hmm.
SmackDown. We saw some returns, we saw some debuts,
A
we
little bit of
saw some
everything.
title changes. It was jam-packed, to say the least.
It was a very nice surprise to start the new year. A SmackDown that's actually decent. WWE has finally heard us. We have now influenced their booking. I mean, what more can you ask for as a New Year's resolution? So big moments of the night. You got the debut of Trick Williams as a SmackDown superstar. This guy's got it all. I mean, what more can
Yeah.
you say about him? It's just perfect.
He's going to be a main roster guy or a major title contender,
For years.
borderline out of the gate even. He's got some
Ooh.
tremendous like heat coming out of NXT. He looks like a superstar
Hmm.
already. So I'm really excited to see what he does on SmackDown specifically because we know they're really struggling to find storylines in the major title scene right now.
Yeah.
There's several different guys going after Cody, but the mid card titles and the overall feuds have just been Damian Priest and Aleister Black, and that's about it. Don't worry, Josh. Don't worry, Josh. It ended. It
It's
ended.
almost over.
It's
Almost.
almost
It
done.
is over.
But I think bringing some new blood into that mid card scene on SmackDown that's struggling to get going right now is exactly what they need to do.
Hmm.
Um,
That's exactly it.
yeah, and it brings a lot of possibilities with the built-in rivalry of Trick and Carmelo already. I definitely think if Carmelo does what he says he would and bring back the open challenge, Trick would definitely be an option
Oh,
to
yeah.
put against Carmelo and
Again,
put on a
right out of the
five-star
gate.
event. Definitely.
Right away. Now, speaking of surprises, we've got the official WWE debut of the one and only Matt Cardona.
We
Man,
saw Zack Ryder
it's
on
perfect
WWE. We saw Matt Cardona on NXT, but we finally got Matt Cardona
on the main
on
roster.
WWE television.
And I mean, he's really just gonna probably stick around in like that Miz spot where lower end of the mid card, kind of a legacy act, can put on a good match when asked for, but isn't really gonna be prominent on every single show. But damn, I'd be lying if I said it isn't good to see Matt Cardona back in a WWE ring, like after years and years of working his ass off to get back here. It's finally paid off for him.
Yeah, he's not going to be feuding with Cody next week, but I like I said with Trick, it's just good getting some new blood into that mid
Yeah.
card scene with SmackDown because they have a lot of upper mid carders that are a bit too high to fight for the US Championship, but are still working towards that Cody Rhodes level of holding a championship.
Yeah.
So I think bringing in some pure mid-card guys is exactly what they need to do, and Matt Cardona could definitely be one of those as well.
Yeah, there's literally nothing wrong with some fodder, some guys to proverbially pad the stats.
Not to mention a new Kit Wilson theme. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we
Yes,
really
boy.
got to talk about.
Yeah, scrap the rest of the podcast. This has now become pretty deadly highlights only.
And the pretty deadly highlights are over. So
What a great
let's
run.
go.
Great run.
Now into the championship change. I think this is exactly what they needed to do as well. And Julia is back to being the United States Women's Champion. And many WWE watchers know they completely fumbled on the first reign.
Hmm.
I think this is a great second chance for Julia. I think with all the tag teams beginning to crumble in the women's tag team division, there could definitely be some great matches on the horizon.
Hmm.
Charlotte and Alexa Bliss being one of those tag teams that are pretty close to going back to singles wrestlers once their rivalry is finished, because I'm smelling an Alexa Bliss heel turn
You
in
can
the
see it
next week or
coming.
two. So once they go back to singles competitors, those would be some great contenders for Julia. And obviously, there's chances for NXT call-ups with the Royal Rumble around the corner.
Hmm.
So I think giving it back to a more technically gifted wrestler like Julia, I think Chelsea Green was a great heel
Hmm.
and a great foil for Julia to fight back to that championship. But I'm glad to see Julia back with WWE Gold.
Yeah, I think kind of like we mentioned, theory in the vision, this US title run is probably going to be the make or break moment for Julia on the main roster.
Yeah.
Like, she's a stellar talent, has everything going for her except the booking. And like, she's got years and years and years still left in the ring, but whether that's under the WWE banner is yet to be seen because their booking has really let her down. Like, came in as a killer signing, massive crowd reactions in NXT, basically instantly the champ, and then a champion, I should say,
Yeah.
and then moves up to the main roster and then crickets. And you want
Yeah.
to know why there's crickets? Because she loses and she's being booked to
She
not
shouldn't
look like a
lose.
killer.
She
No,
should be booked like Ilya Dragunov has, and
give her
she's
the
just
Oscar
not.
run from back in the day. Just,
I do think Julia was also called up too early though,
mm,
because she got called up right around the time a lot of people were returning. Charlotte came back to the mix, Alexa Bliss came back to the mix.
that's fair.
Nikki
It just
Bella
wasn't a
on
good
another
time.
brand, obviously, and AJ Lee coming back, Becky Lynch coming back. There were a lot of top of the line women in the WWE roster who came back early in this year, and that's just more mouths to feed.
Yeah, there's only
And
so much spotlight to go around.
exactly. So with Julia getting the gold so early in her career, there was a lot of potential, but they had so many women coming back into the mix and so many more storylines to fill. She just didn't get the attention she deserved from creative.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
think
that's
this is
fair
a
to
great
say.
second chance.
Yeah,
There's a lot of injuries right now on SmackDown, as we talked about last week. Um, for her to possibly gain some momentum and gain some traction on the women's division in SmackDown now as the champion to kind of develop some more storylines than she did in her previous reign.
yeah,
But I'm just glad she's getting a second chance overall.
yeah. Well said, partner. Now, on to something I'm just gonna let you take the floor on. Randy Orton is back, baby, and he's going after Cody Rhodes.
This is my guy.
I got nothing to say. It's all you.
I have been like itching for this feud since Cody Rhodes rose up onto the apron at WrestleMania 38 in his return. As soon as Cody Rhodes came back, I was craving a Randy and Cody feud, and it has now been, what, 4 years? And we have a King of the Ring match, and
Yeah,
that's it? Like,
it's time.
Santi's app once again says it best. We're sick and tired of Randy Orton looking at championships and not going after championships.
Yeah,
Randy Orton needs another one before he retires. We need another Randy Orton heel run because we really haven't gotten one since COVID.
Oh,
when he went back to the Legend Killer and had that feud with Edge. Then he went to RK Bro and became a torrential mid-carder for the past few
became
years.
a stoner.
He became a stoner with his mustache and goatee, just
Oh,
like me.
don't even.
But when he bulked up and came back at Survivor Series, I
Mm,
was like,
this is it.
Randy Orton's going for a major title once again, and he's done nothing. Like, I thought that King of the Ring match was going to lead to this.
You
I
would
thought
think.
Randy Orton would be the guy to take over Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 before John Cena turned heel, obviously. Um, and once John Cena turned heel, and obviously Randy had to have a fight with John Cena, that took away the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton storyline until right now. And I know Drew has a lot of heat in this rivalry, and he definitely could be the guy to dethrone Cody. I think Randy Orton. Oh man, do I say this hot take? Do I say this hot take?
Do it. Lay it all out on.
Randy Orton wins the Royal Rumble and fights Cody Rhodes.
That is not where I thought that was going.
Randy Orton
Okay.
ties Stone Cold for 3 Royal Rumbles and takes on Cody Rhodes. I know this feud may not need the Royal Rumble for him to become a contender. Possibly an Elimination Chamber win too. I could see Randy winning that.
Maybe.
But I think Stone Cold's held that record for too long. I think Randy Orton and Cody are probably the only ones who are realistic to hit that third Royal Rumble. Um, and I think the time is now because John
Wow.
Cena's not here.
Well said.
So yeah, it's an incredibly hot take. I know the win would be better suited for possibly a guy like Braun Breaker, possibly
Joe Hendry.
I don't know about Joe Hendry. But
Stop the recording. We're done.
it may be better suited for a younger up and coming guy who's still looking for his first win, but I want
Mm.
to see Randy Orton take that third Royal Rumble
Oh
win.
yeah.
That's one of the only records that has been reachable for a long time, and nobody's hit it.
They just haven't pulled the
And
trigger on anyone.
and I think Randy could be that guy.
Wow. That is spicy.
It's
Caliente.
it's very spicy. It's very spicy because I don't think Randy needs it. I just want
Okay, you had me up until that point. You
it.
almost had me.
No, I think although I do really want it, I think it is suitable for Randy to do that. I think there's not many superstars with the stature to be
Mm,
able to match Stone Cold's Attitude Era record,
that's
which
fair.
is arguably the greatest heat and greatest popularity we've ever seen in
Oh
WWE.
yeah,
So,
undoubtedly.
I think Randy Orton could be one of the only superstars who could live up to that record. And I think it's suitable for the storyline, obviously, because uh,
Yeah.
the heat between him and Cody, and it's bound to happen eventually, and I think it should happen at WrestleMania.
No, that's fair to say. And I think the one aspect that I really, really, really don't like about this is,
Hmm.
yeah, the path is probably, hopefully, gonna be Orton and Cody at Mania. But that also, and this is what I hate. It's one of my pet peeves about wrestling is when you have someone just upfront honest, hey, I'm going after this person and this title, but
Yeah,
oh, next week or the week after, they have a title match against someone else. We know Drew's not winning in the three stages of hell, and that bums me out. Because
that that's
Drew is due.
that is exactly how I felt when
Hmm.
Sami Zayn fought Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn had the heat, had the story to
It
be
was
able to
in
knock
Montreal
off
too.
Roman, and it was in Montreal, and they just didn't pull the trigger, and we knew they weren't going to pull the trigger. That is the
No.
worst part, because Cody had to finish the story. Uh, Um, so I feel that exact same way about that storyline. Even the Jey Uso one at SummerSlam, I knew he wasn't going to be the guy, even though I think that story would have been perfectly told.
That would have been
Uh,
better. than what we
So
got.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, it's a bummer because that's going to be such a great match between Cody and Drew. It's going to be vicious and brutal. And that really, really should be the moment that Drew gets his title win, even as a heel, gets a major title win in front of the fans once again. It's what he's deserved, it's what he's worked for, and he's gotten better ever since his initial big win in COVID. He's gotten so much better. His heel work, some of the best of 2025, just across the board. And yet he's gotten nothing from it. He's been jobbed out constantly, and man, it sucks knowing that, yeah, no matter what, the outcome is determined. I mean, it's wrestling, it's determined, but in a different way.
Yeah. I think with the minimal amount of major title contenders on SmackDown, Drew could get another chance down the road. But
Yeah, but
I don't know. He's got a lot of heat right now, and it would be great to see him take it over. But that would shove away the legacy storyline once again, and I think that
yeah.
would be the better story to tell.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a double-edged knife. Wait, double-edged sword. Same difference, really. It's a
Same
blade.
difference.
Blade goes both ways. You can write that one down. Philosophy major Josh Alderman. Blade goes both ways.
Onto a less than stellar Raw, to be honest. We got a Penta return out of it, which was pretty sick,
That's pretty
and
sweet.
a new Austin Theory theme, which is pretty sick as well. That
Oh
one's
yeah.
getting a lot of hype. It's sounds like Linkin Park, which is one of the best Def Rebel musics I've heard in a
Hmm.
long time.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Long, long time.
but yeah, this Raw, I mean, it is the one right before the 3 hours, so it could mean the 3 hour Raw might lift it up a little
They're
bit.
saving the good stuff?
I don't know what good stuff they're saving though, so we will have to see. There's not much to go on Raw
No.
other than the Penta return.
Like Penta's
Um,
back. That's awesome. That's cool.
yeah,
He's going after the vision. Awesome. But like
everybody wants him to
that's
get with
it.
Ray Phoenix, but it's looking like Penta might stay a single star.
Like that's all well and good and he deserves it honestly.
Hmm.
Like he definitely deserves maybe like an intercontinental title run for a while too.
He's another one that I've seen in the Royal Rumble talks too.
Really?
Yeah.
That
It's a deeper cut, but he's getting a pretty
I
decent
don't hate it.
push other than being injured, like before the injury and after going right after the main faction in WWE. He's getting a solid push.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the right move, but I have seen him in the talks, so
No, I think that's fair. And yeah, having him come back and confronting the vision, that's big. It's a big step up for Penta. And I'm just looking forward to it. Like there's no blade goes both ways on this one. It's great. I like this a lot. Penta's back. He gets a big storyline and it'll help boost the vision because they're going to have some great matches with a great worker in the form of Penta. No complaints.
now we talked about the major storylines in WWE with Randy Orton going after Cody. We got a possible MJF contender on our hands on Dynamite
Ooh,
with the
color
legend
me
Kenny
excited.
Omega coming into the mix.
Man, that's just perfect. Kenny, admittedly, isn't what he used to be. And with age and, the fact that he almost died in a matter of like months ago, and yet he's come back. He's still in top physical shape. He's still putting on banger matches
Mhm.
and having him go after MJF. That is just,
I think this is the perfect
it's
storyline
perfect.
for a Kenny Omega who might not be able to put on the technical masterpieces he has in the past, but
Yeah.
he can still kill it on the mic with who else other than MJF. So I think this one will be heavily
Hmm.
promo based. I don't think it'll be match of the year contender, but
But
it'll
it'll
be
be
a
a
great
good match.
storyline. Yeah.
Yeah. And like MJF, great worker. And again, like you just mentioned, storyteller. And Kenny,
Hmm.
just one of the best of all time in terms of storytelling abilities, promo, in-ring work, even down to simple things like facial expressions. The guy's got it nailed down, and despite the age and injuries, that hasn't gone away. So I'm expecting we'll see a fantastic story out of these two. And this is where it does work to have it basically be a foregone conclusion. Kenny's not going to win the title. It would be great to see him win the title, but A, not after a massive MJF comeback win, and B, not at his age and with the injuries that he's been dealing with the last few years. But it works because it's
Yeah.
going to elevate MJF, because it's going to give Kenny, maybe his last big real run at a title. And it's going to be a fantastic story all around. So you just kind of forget about that element of there's no way MJF's losing right away.
Yeah.
It just kind of moves to the back of your head. And I think it's just going to be fantastic.
Yeah. MJF's going to be holding on to this title for quite a long time, in my
Hmm.
opinion. He's just so dynamic. He could have a good storyline with anybody. So I
Hmm.
think they could carry this for quite a while. But on the flip side, we got a title change on Dynamite as well, or New Year's as well. Willow Nightingale takes down Mercedes Moné for the TBS
Hmm.
Championship, and Mercedes Moné fall off continues
In a good way. In a good
in a
way.
very good way to the right
And
person too.
oh yeah. And I mean, we said this to each other at All Out Toronto when we both went to go see it in person, that Statlander winning just felt right. Getting her
Yeah,
big moment, being an OG roster member and finally getting her time in the limelight. It's the same thing with Willow, where she's come so far in her career and it's basically all been televised. Her evolution as a wrestler, as a character worker, and then now getting her second TBS title reign. It's just it's perfect. You can't write it any better than that. And it comes at the cost of Mercedes Moné losing another title, and that sends her further spiraling into a descent of madness, which, like I said last week, somehow, some way, that is where, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever you want to call her, has done her best work as
yeah.
this loose
This
cannon heel.
vigilante loose cannon, yeah.
Oh yeah, nothing left to lose except her sanity.
I think there's a great storyline on the horizon with a uh, babyface slash heel Mercedes Moné.
Okay.
And I don't know who she's gonna fight. I don't know when it's gonna happen. But once she's titleless, there's nothing else to do other than put Mercedes Moné into a fire storyline. There's
Hmm.
nothing to fight over. It's just her fighting. And that's when Mercedes Moné and Sasha Bank has done her best work.
All right. So we've talked about Mercedes Moné. We've talked about MJF. We've talked about Raw, SmackDown, and everything else in between. I want to take us over the pond real quick because about 24 hours from the time of recording, we've got New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom coming up. Wrestle Kingdom 20, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be a massive event. There's some good matches on there and some even better stories coming up. So I'm going to break down a couple of the bigger names, stories, everything to look out for going on at, again, time of recording, tomorrow's event. So we've got Bullet Club War Dogs and the unaffiliated group, which the whole team consists of David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Drilla Maloney. Fantastic name.
Wow.
Alongside Shingo Takagi and Hiromu Takahashi, going up against the United Empire, which is Callum Newman, Great Okan, Aaron Hanare, Andrade El Idolo, and a mystery partner. Andrade in New Japan, like
Is
somehow,
Andrade still signed to WWE?
no. Okay, so
No?
that
Okay. I wasn't sure if his contract ended recently.
insider knowledge. So
Okay.
he was gone. He was out, contract was up, and he left. And showed up to AEW like days later. And then WWE's like, oh, sorry, we put in one of our no compete clauses. That's
Mm.
basically, oh, for the next year, you can't wrestle for AEW. And
Oh,
the legality of it has been challenged, and Andrade is basically, it's been overturned, and now he's free to go wherever he wants. And in the meantime, he's kept busy in Mexico and now making his return to New Japan, where he really got his start on a
mhm.
global stage as La Sombra back in the day. And yeah, so that it's going to be fun to see him back in a New Japan ring. He really thrives in those international markets, I've found just watching his matches, and he just continues to be the funniest pro wrestler that's not a comedy wrestler because the dude just shows up anywhere. He's going to do anything. It's just going to be a great match, and it will be interesting to see who that other mystery partner is for United Empire. Could we see a free agent debuting? Could we see a young star get their chance? We'll have to wait and see.
It's kind of crazy how little Andrade thrived in WWE compared to literally every single other promotion.
Everywhere else.
Little, even NXT.
Yeah.
He became NXT champion for a good amount of time and put on some five-star matches. But like he just could not get anything going on the
No.
main roster. He was not getting booked.
And his abilities didn't go away. His
No.
screen time did. That's the issue. But yeah, he thrives literally anywhere else that isn't WWE's main roster, so it'll be fun to see him back over in Japan. Now, another big match, we've got a debut of an Olympic athlete, Aaron Wolf, one of the hottest new wrestling prospects, has been training for a couple months now. Former Japanese Olympian, I want to say he won a couple medals for him too, is going up against the wonderfully named Evil in a match for the Never Openweight Championship. That's just going to be a cool showcase, getting to see an Olympian come back to Japanese wrestling, but not the amateur wrestling that he won medals in, the insane world of pro wrestling. That's pretty cool. And I mean, the guy's relatively young, like just 29 years old. He's got a bright future if he can make it work. Otherwise, we're looking at, oh, what's the name of that one guy that showed up for one match in NXT? Steveson?
Yeah, that's exactly who I had in
That's
mind.
what I'm thinking.
That's exactly why I get scared of pushing Olympians.
Yeah.
Um, it was Gable Steveson, and he was getting this major
Hmm.
push on NXT, but he could not work the mic for anything.
And got booed out of his match with
Yeah,
Baron Corbin. And it really goes to show you how much of an impact that he made that I didn't remember who he was. I remembered that he got booed and just sucked all around. So
I
I'm
remember
hoping,
Stephanie McMahon introduced him at, I can't remember what WrestleMania, but it was
oh, it
at a
was some big
WrestleMania,
thing.
and they were like, "This is the guy."
Hmm.
And then he craps the bed on NXT.
Against Baron Corbin.
They've been
I can't highlight
chasing
that enough.
they've been chasing Kurt Angle for 20 years
Yeah.
and nobody's been able to replicate his combination of obviously Olympic level technical wrestling but also be able to build character work and build storylines on the mic. And
I'm gonna flag you on that one.
okay,
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable,
But they
has he won medals? Or
mm,
is he an Olympian?
he was an Olympian.
Was
That
an
I
Olympian?
remember.
Okay.
Maybe not a medal winning guy, but definitely an
Okay.
Olympian. And
Penalty is accepted. They didn't really play into the Olympian
no,
um
not too much.
character.
Just the
Obviously
amateur
he has
wrestling.
that style, but
Yeah.
yeah, when you push somebody as an Olympic character is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um
All that to say, here's
it
hoping
just
Aaron Wolf
it
isn't the same.
I really hope not. I think New Japan is the right way to go if you're an
Hmm.
Olympian,
It's a
because
sports-based
it is,
presentation.
yeah, it is technical wrestling at its finest, and that's what builds their stories is their quality of matches.
Hmm.
So I think that was the right way to go instead of getting pushed at WrestleMania when you can't work the mic.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it was a good move, and I think
Yeah.
he could put on some five-star matches with New Japan stars.
I think that's absolutely fair to say. Then we got the big title match of the night. Konosuke Takeshita, the IWGP World Champ, going up against Yota Tsuji, the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion. Man, that is just going to be a banger of a match. We know Takeshita's great.
Yeah,
Tsuji is a rising star. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, yes, he holds a New Japan contract, but Takeshita is an outsider. He's an
yeah.
AEW guy. It's time for him to drop the title, however good he is. Drop the title to the guy that could and should lead New Japan to the next generation. And that guy is Yota Tsuji. And rumors are running rampant that if and hopefully when he wins, and that's not a shot at Takeshita, it's just a shot at New Japan not pushing young
It's just the
stars.
development of Takeshita too.
If and when Yota Tsuji wins, there are rumors that he's going to bring back the old IWGP title belt, and that thing was beautiful. Get rid of the modern design and retire the global heavyweight title, which
Yeah.
has no purpose at all. May I remind you, some of its past winners were Nick Nemeth and Matt Riddle. So, having such a prestigious lineage,
Oh,
hopefully the rumors are true and
bro, bro, bro.
he tosses it in the bin and just keeps the IWGP title and brings it back to that old design. We'll just have to wait and see, though.
For a New Japan newbie like me, I'm
Hmm.
slowly getting into it. Is it like the merging of the WWE Championship with the Universal Championship?
I think that's fair to say. Yeah,
Okay.
one big prestigious title, and then one that is more of a joke than anything else.
Does it have a red belt?
White.
Okay.
It,
That's
it still
not
looks
much
decent,
better.
but yeah, not much better.
At
Yeah, so we'll just have to
least it
wait
doesn't
and
have a
see.
red belt.
Yeah, so you got the outsider in Takeshita up against the young gun Yota Tsuji, who again, could and should be the face of this new generation. But then in the main event of the evening, you look back at the two faces of the past two generations, Kazuchika Okada and Hiroshi Tanahashi. For those of you who are a little new,
I'm a newbie and I still know how banger of a match that
oh
would
yeah,
be.
Tanahashi, his knees are gone. He's in his late 40s, but he has given everything to wrestling. And that, I mean, that deserves all the respect in the world. The guy, for comparison, in a North American context, he's Cena. He is the
Yeah.
never say die baby face. He's the guy, except, you know, no shot at Cena, but Tanahashi puts on 5-star classics night in and night out, or at least he used to until knee injuries caught up to him. And eventually he started taking more of a backstage role. And now he's decided it's time for health reasons, for wanting to open up more spots for the young guys. He's decided it's time to step away. So this is the John Cena retirement of Japanese pro wrestling, and it's going to be
And
emotional. It's going to
Okada's
be
Gunther.
insane. Oh yeah, and it's the biggest crowd for a Wrestle Kingdom that New Japan's had in a long, long time. Pretty much sold just off of the fact that Tanahashi, the face of the last, 25 years for Japanese pro wrestling, is hanging up his boots.
Yeah.
And he's going up against Okada, his greatest rival. It's just going to be a fantastic match. There's nothing more to say. All right. Now, from a New Year's tradition to New Year's moments, it's Mount Rushmore time. And Cam, what have we got on the docket today?
Well, for this week's Mount Rushmore, it's a little niche. But we're looking at our favorite or the most memorable or simply the best New Year's wrestling episode moments. This could be uh, New Year's specific events. These could be Raws, SmackDowns, Dynamites that happen on New Year's Eve, you name
Hmm.
it.
Within the
Um,
window of New Year's.
within the window, yes. And we're going over our top four New Year's moments. Would you like me or yourself to start
Ooh.
off, Josh?
You know what? Take the floor.
I'll take the floor. I'll take the floor. That way I don't duplicate anything and you duplicate me.
Will do.
You probably got some deeper cuts than I do, anyways. First one I got the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match at New Year's Revolution 2006. I think
Iconic.
it's the largest scale match that has happened on New Year's in a very long time. Me personally, I'm a big fan of the Elimination Chamber. It's one of my favorite group matches in all of wrestling. And I think it was a decent match as well. It was for the WWE Championship, which obviously adds some stakes. We don't really see that um, in WWE nowadays with fighting for the championship in the Elimination Chamber.
Hmm.
But yeah, it had some star-studded guys in it too. Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Kurt Angle, Kane. You don't get those type of stars in the Elimination Chamber. You
No.
get, or nowadays at least, you get the John Morrisons, you get the Montez Fords, you, you get the Finleys,
You get the
but
theories.
you get the Austin Theories. Well, this one did have Carlito and Chris Masters, so it's keeping up with the trend, but
Okay, but they were
uh,
big at the
it,
time.
at the time, yes, and they had a lot of foil to go off of with some top of
Yeah,
the line stars.
it made
And
sense.
overall, it was a big stake match that happened on New Year's Revolution, and I think it's one of the better New Year's moments in the past 20 years now. Holy cow!
Jeez.
Second on my Mount Rushmore, one of my favorite wrestlers currently, and his pretty much climacting moment of him coming up. I don't think climacting is a word. I
I
just
don't
made
think
that
so. I
up.
didn't want to be that guy.
No, I can be that guy. I can call myself out,
That's fair.
but
That's fair.
it's his breakout moment. I'm going with Obafemi winning the breakout tournament at New Year's Evil 2024.
Nice.
Obafemi, one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I'm excited for him to join the main roster eventually. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know who he's going to feud with because he could take on anybody.
Hmm.
But this was his big moment. This was when he first came onto the scene. I can't remember who he fought. It was somebody from Chase U. But
Hmm.
it's when he first arrived on the scene. It was the inciting force of the ruler, and I don't know. I think that's big for the future of WWE. It was big for NXT at the time, and I think it's up there as one of the top four moments in New Year's.
Wow.
It's very recent too. So
Hmm.
it was a large scale moment. Now on to the funnier side. This is the one I brought up when we first talked about doing this segment because it's freaking hilarious. But I'm doing when John Cena dumps a bunch of slop on Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee on Raw New Year's Eve 2012. This was when Dolph Ziggler, I believe, was still the World Heavyweight Championship
I
after his
believe
cash
so.
in. This was right before John Cena won the 2013 Royal Rumble. Um, I don't think he ended up winning that championship from Dolph Ziggler because he won the WWE Championship at the WrestleMania after that.
Yeah.
But it was just Super Cena crapping on arguably the slimiest heel, pun
Of the day.
intended, pun intended, crapping on the slimiest heel of the day in Dolph Ziggler. And I don't know, it was one of the most memorable moments from that, should I say, iffy era of
Hmm.
WWE wrestling. where it was very gimmicky and it was very Super Cena heavy. But I don't know, nothing hit like Dolph Ziggler, 2012 Dolph Ziggler getting crapped on. So that has made my list.
Okay.
And now I've said three straight WWE, so I'm going over to AEW for this last one because I think it was pretty large scale in the development of AEW. Um, I'm going with the Good Brothers, Gallus and Anderson invading AEW New Year's Smash 2021. Uh,
Okay.
when Moxley was beating down on Kenny Omega, and then the TNA Tag Team Champions invade AEW. TNA and AEW weren't that conjoined at the
No.
time. Obviously, they're able to flip around with the flexibility AEW has, but now that TNA is mixed with WWE, I don't think that's happening as frequent anymore, and it wasn't at the time either. So having, let alone a TNA signed superstar, a TNA champion, two
Hmm.
TNA champions come into AEW was massive in literally the second year of its existence.
Hmm.
So,
It doesn't get
uh,
bigger than that.
the Bullet Club coming back together, the Young Bucks coming into the ring to join them together too, um, and them taking down arguably the top babyface at the time, the Lone Wolf, John Moxley, when he wasn't associated with anybody, and having the Bullet Club all come down on him out of
Peak.
all factions. You
Peak.
could peak wrestling right there. So even though Gallows and Anderson have been a bit of a journeyman, I should say, as of late,
Hmm.
this was massive in the scale of wrestling with TNA champions coming over to AEW, and they ended up staying for a good amount of time
Hmm.
until I believe it was late that year. I believe it was only like an 8, 9 month tenure, but it was huge for the development of AEW and makes my list.
Fair enough. And what a great way to cap off your Mount Rushmore. But I think I got a few ones that could rival yours. We'll,
Let's
we'll,
hear
we'll
it.
have to wait and see.
Let's hear it.
Actually, I'm going to flip the script. You ended things with AEW. I'm going to start things with AEW. I'm going to start things with the match that preceded Gallows and Anderson invading AEW. I'm going to start with New Year's Smash 2021's main event, Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix, the world
Nice.
championship on the line. Man, that was just a fantastic match. A banger, as the kids say. Title on the line. I think they went close to 20 minutes. Like for a TV main event, you can't find much better. And in terms of workers, at the time, Omega was still in his prime. Phoenix,
Mhm.
it was, is, and will be just fantastic. Genuinely one of the greatest luchadors of all time. The acrobatics versus the slimy heelishness of Omega. Man, it just worked out so well. It was a fantastic match and really helped stabilize AEW during the tumultuous pandemic era. And then you want to talk about stabilizers, the Good Brothers come out afterwards. But the match itself makes my list in the number one spot. Not that we're going in order or anything. Now, moving on to the second item on my list, it's New Year's Evil 2022, where Braun Breaker beats
Mm.
Tommaso Ciampa to become NXT
Talk
champ.
about a breakout moment. Oh my God.
I mean, man, that was just, again, perfect for the time. It was the start of NXT 2.0, which
Yeah, I
deserves its own
forgot
episode.
Tommaso was the guy that Braun took down.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that, it's insane because you had Braun Breaker, the next big thing, the
Yeah.
next guy up, the face of the future and the face of this futuristic feeling NXT
Yeah.
2.0
It was the shift.
going up against the last bastion of the black and gold era in Tommaso Ciampa. And not only was it a great match, but it solidified Braun Breaker as the future of WWE as a whole. Just a great match. And Ciampa, actually, the day that we're recording this, is leaving WWE at the end of his contract. It was confirmed
Yeah.
today by a bunch of different sources, but yeah, that will stand out as one of his best matches and putting over the next big star really earned him a lot more respect in my eyes. And yeah, just fantastic. Now, we are going back to New Japan for New Year's Dash 2017, where Suzuki Gun re-invades New Japan. So let me give you the lore. Let me talk to you. So Suzuki Gun was a faction headed up by, believe it or not, Minoru Suzuki, and literally translates to the name of the faction, literally translates to Suzuki Army. And it was
Oh,
just a group of gangsters, just killers dressed in all black and white. And whereas at the time, Bullet Club were the top heel stable, but they were a little more on the goofy side. They You had Suzuki Gun as the killers, just vicious, ruthless, would do whatever it takes to get what they want. And, ran roughshod over the company for a few years. They debuted in 2012.
sounds like DX versus NWO.
Hmm. Went for a few years, and then in 20, I want to say late 2015, during like a little talent exchange program, the entire faction left for Pro Wrestling Noah, left as part of like a little talent swap and invaded Pro Wrestling Noah. And again, ran roughshod using overwhelming force and vicious behavior to take over the company. And most people thought they were going to ride the wave there for a while to come. And then New Year's Dash 2017, right at the start of the year, boom. They come back, they take out Tanahashi, they take out Okada, they take out all of the top stars and officials and young rookies watching at ringside. They take out everybody and announce that they are here to stay. And that just lives rent free as one of the coolest moments.
Scratch that. That's Nexus. Oh my lord.
Yeah, crazy. Just rent free as one of the coolest moments in New Year's history. And then we cap it off with something that's not so cool and still lives rent free in my head because it's the day that TNA should have died. It was January 4th, New Year's Impact, the first Impact of 2010. That's right, folks. Prepare yourselves. It's the debut of the Hogan and Bischoff era. Oh, dear Lord, that
Let me
deserves an
tell you
episode of its
something,
own.
brother.
Ugh. That's the day that TNA should have died. It was, you mentioned yourself, Cam, one of the weakest periods in WWE history.
And you still lose.
TNA was on the up. They had guys
You
like
lose
AJ
to the
Styles.
Miz as WWE
Yeah,
champion.
you had Styles, you had Joe, you had Daniels and Kaz, you had MCMG, you had Beer Money, you had everybody you could ever want for a new company rising up to the top. And then you think to yourselves, what's a new way to ring in the new year? What's something fresh and exciting that we can bring in? Oh, that's right. Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Oh, and Hulk Hogan's friends like the Nasty Boys and Val Venus. It's one of the worst
Oh
moments in
man.
wrestling history. It is infamous. And that's why it
And
makes my list because it's a
okay,
New Year's moment that will be remembered forever. That is memorable,
almost every single like
not for
Mount
the right
Rushmore
reasons.
member of TNA wrestlers were still there. It's
Yeah,
not like they had a bad roster at
their
all.
biggest stars were still there at the time.
And they choked hard.
You want to start the Monday Night Wars again with Val Venus, with Hulk Hogan,
Oh my God.
by redoing the NWO, by remaking The Four Horsemen? Huh? Man, I we could go on forever about this, but
Oh.
I'll stop myself here before I get too emotionally overwhelmed. It was just not good, but it is memorable as a New Year's moment for all of the wrong reasons, and that's why it makes my list. Cam, take over. I'm gonna go cry in the corner for a second.
Well, don't leave just yet, Josh. We can go on to a bit happier of a segment.
Ooh,
You're going to be able to either bury if you're feeling so negative, or push some mid-carders into today's
okay.
edition of Push or Bury. You came with four different mid-carders in the world of wrestling. I came with four different mid-carders, and we're not talking about upper mid-carders. We're not talking about, I mean, you could talk about complete jobbers if you want to give them a push, but we're looking at people who have the option of either burying their character or
Okay.
pushing them to the moon. We're talking major title pushes here.
Okay.
We're not talking about sticking the US title on them. So
All right, let's hear it.
let's hear it. First one I got. This tag team has been rumored to be splitting up and going singles ways. Talking about the Street Profits here. Now,
Okay.
many people know Montez Ford had a singles option on the table when he entered the Elimination Chamber,
hmm
but I'm leaning towards Angelo Dawkins. Are you pushing Angelo Dawkins or are you burying him?
I feel bad because he's not a bad worker, but I'm gonna bury him. I think if we're given like strapping the rocket to him, giving him everything we got, he just doesn't have the character. He doesn't have the gimmick. He doesn't have the promo abilities of hell of Montez. And I think that's where he falters. He's a great tag guy, great big man tag worker, but as a singles guy, I just don't see a future for him. I'd bury him,
I th
unfortunately.
I think it heavily depends on if the Street Profits break up, they go down the
Yeah, that's
DIY
a big
path.
if.
If they go down the NXT DIY path, and
Mm,
if they both become stars like Tommaso and Johnny did in NXT,
yeah,
but if we're picking, I'd pick Montez too.
that's fair.
On to you.
All right.
Who do you got for me?
I'll give you a softball to start things
Okay.
off. Nice and easy. Tell me what you think about Austin Theory. Are you going to push him to the moon or are you going to bury him? This is the question that we have posed to Triple H on this podcast a matter of weeks
Triple
ago.
H, I really hope you're listening. Because this guy, if you give him the right storyline and the right um, heat
hmm
and the right foil to him in matches, he could be Seth Rollins level, 100%.
Really?
He could be at like shield turning slimy heel Seth Rollins. He just hasn't had the matches to do it. And he's slowly losing his ability on the mic. He's one of the best sellers that we've seen in the last decade, so he can put on decent matches, but he's just not winning.
Mm.
So I think with the right matches and the right storyline, he could be a top heel in the company. So I'm going to say push.
All right. Well said. I'll pass things back over to you.
All right. I got an interesting one here. A very interesting one. Because he did start off as a wrestler. He did just have a number one contender match in TNA. Are you pushing BDE or are you burying him?
Ooh.
Do you push him to the moon like WWE has with Logan Paul?
Oh,
Or do you think he's run its course?
man, that's a tough one because he has kind of come into his own as a wrestler. He's got the athleticism. He can do some crazy stuff in the ring and he's got good abilities. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I think Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be a Barry, but begrudgingly, kind of like Dawkins, where I don't want to, but I will.
Yeah, these are guys you root for right now, but it's
Yeah,
whether you think they could hold their own in a major storyline.
yeah,
And
because I think he's got
yep,
great abilities, great potential, but if we're talking about, strapping the rocket to him, making him the face of the company, doesn't work for me, brother.
I kind of agree. I could possibly see an X Division reign,
Yeah, like
but
that would make sense to
I
me,
don't know.
but that's not what we're talking about today.
Exactly. We're talking about major title runs.
Face of the company, and I just can't see him in that spot. I'm gonna have to go Barry. All right. I've got a little something for you. You want to stay on the TNA track? Let's talk about Jake something. X Division stalwart, big man of to end all big men. What do you got for him?
I don't know. He performed really well in that same six-man match where Cedric Alexander took the win. That BDE was in as well. He's got great character work. He's a bruiser in what is like looking like a pretty lightweight TNA division right now.
Hmm.
So I think he could provide some great contrast as he moves up the card. I'm gonna go push.
Okay.
I'm being generous. I'm being generous. I
I
think
like
he
that.
has the props to do it, but once again, it'll lean like Austin Theory. I think he needs the right storyline.
Okay.
But I think he is a really good contrasting superstar to the current landscape of TNA right now.
I like that. I like that a lot. And, if it was up to me, I'd agree. You give him the right set of circumstances and that guy could shine. All right. Back
All
over to
right,
you.
on to the women's division. Here we go. We
All right.
got, she hasn't been called up yet, so we got an NXT superstar. But she is inevitably going to be called up because she is a major star in NXT. But we're talking about eventual eventual um um
Rising
major
stars.
title winners.
Eventual
Major
winners.
title
Yeah.
winners. Could be in 10 years, could be next year. We're talking Zarya
Ooh, that's a good one.
because she has the singles props, unlike some tag team guys that I mentioned. But she's
Hmm.
been shadowed by Solruka. She hasn't had the same opportunities, but she's got the move set. So do you think that move set can lift her up to the main card?
I think, to contrast your point, anyone would be overshadowed by Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
Just a generational talent, anyone would be overshadowed. I honestly think we could see Zarya as women's champ one day. I'm saying push. I think she's got an awesome character, a crazy look, and like almost too similar to Rhea Ripley, but it works. Like a more colorful Rhea Ripley,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And like that powerhouse move set with a lot of athleticism built into it, a lot of, top rope maneuvers built into it that still carry some power, some heft behind it. I could genuinely see Zarya as one of the women's champs one day. I'm saying push. Give her great storylines, great rivalries, give her all you've got. She's got a lot of potential, and I definitely think it could pay off.
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. I want to give you a tag team, spice things up a little bit. We mentioned them earlier. Yes, boy, it's pretty deadly. What are you going to do with them? Two young rising stars that haven't gotten a fair shake. Have they gotten all the opportunities they're going to get, or are you going to give them one last chance? I've painted you into a corner here.
Man, those World Tag Team Championships could be held by anybody. There's just no stake in those titles anymore. But like, if you're telling me that Pretty Deadly could beat the Usos, the Motor City Machine Guns, the New Day. I
Well,
can't see it. That's like it's this era's Breezango, man.
oh,
I'm bearing pretty deadly. They're great comic acts. Like they're on the level of our truth. They are
mhm.
fantastic material on every week of Raw or
Yeah.
SmackDown.
It's
They put
modern
on
day
great
Breezango.
they put on great backstage segments, but could they carry a tag team division? I don't think so.
I disagree with you, but you make a good point. You make a good point.
All right, on to my last one. Now, this guy is one of my favorites in all of wrestling right now. I I push him to the moon every single day. I understand if his style and his mic work maybe not made for the major title in your eyes. Let's go the good old Canadian boy, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Oh, that's perfect. It's a push. I don't even have to hesitate here. A phenomenal in-ring worker. I think you can grow, in terms of character, in terms of promo
Hmm.
work. You can't teach talent. Speedball Mike Bailey has talent, boatloads of talent. And again, to use that phrase, you strap the rocket to him, you give him every good idea that you've got, and you just let him go out there and have a banger match with anyone. It would work. I would not be opposed to it. And I think he showed a lot of great work during the Continental Classic this year, going up against some of the biggest stars that AEW has to offer. He showed that he can not only stand with, but stand above some of those big names, put on a show like he does in every single match. You can't teach talent. I'm giving him the biggest push possible.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure.
Making
Because
sure we're on the same
I
page.
could see people lumping him in, or at least the promotions lumping him into the Evan Bourne category of just a high
Yeah.
flyer and not giving him that push. But I want to see it.
I would say that's where Speedball kind of differs from those prototypical like high flyers because he's got that martial arts background. He's got the kicks, the strikes, those high power, high intensity maneuvers that he works into his move set. I think that's what makes him different. That's what elevates him above just a general high flyer, and that's why he's got what it takes to be the face, the representative of a company.
I completely agree. Got it. Imagine if Brian Danielson was doing 450 splashes.
Yeah,
That's the skill set of Mike Bailey. And I mean, like I said, he's one of my favorite on the landscape of wrestling right now, and I would love to see a push.
yeah. If Brian Danielson and Ricochet had a baby, it would be Mike Bailey. I don't know how to segue from that. My last and final offering to you for push or bury is a contentious one, a little bit of a controversial one. She's held the NXT Women's title, she's held the TNA Knockouts title, but does she really have what it takes? Character work, in-ring work, promo work to be a star on the main roster of WWE. I'm talking about Fatal Influences JC Jane.
God, JC Jane has put in such good work this year.
But
Oh
is it
my,
enough?
she was great under Um, I believe she was under Mandy Rose,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
So, I mean, if she goes into a faction, like starts off in a faction on the main card, I don't think it's an instant rise, like, say, a Jade Cargill coming in, like a Lyra Valkyria or a possibly Sol Ruka. I think Sol Ruka could be in that category as well. I don't think she's an instant riser.
Hmm.
But give her some faction work where she does her best work. Give her a slimy heel turn once that faction eventually disintegrates. And I could totally see a main or a major title in her future.
Okay.
She, I know I've like given this excuse all day today of given the right storyline,
Yeah.
this is the one that needs it the most. I
Okay.
don't think she can be a superstar if she goes into the main card as a single star.
Hmm.
I think she needs a faction because that's what gave her the rise in NXT in the first place. That's what gave her some traction. And now that she got traction, she's been doing great. But I think she still needs that to go into the incredibly full women's division of superstars in WWE. It's one of the WWE main card women's division, in my opinion, is the best women's division in all of wrestling.
Okay.
I think they have the most sheer amount of superstars, and I think what JCJ needs to tell her apart from those superstars is a faction so that she can gain that traction that I was talking about. So as I said, out of all the superstars I've named that needs the right storyline, I think she needs it the most. But if she does get that storyline, I think she can totally be a superstar.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, and I think you make one hell of a point and putting her over big today. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Well said.
I think we got a good mix of
Yeah.
some mid-carders all around the landscape of wrestling. And I don't know. Yeah, I think this is a shoo-in to come back here on the Superkick Society.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, we got a big week of wrestling on our hands
That we do.
next week. The 3-hour Raw and SmackDowns begin. The Royal Rumble is just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
The AEW roster coming together after World's End. New major stars coming into the title mix. And new singles titles switching hands as well. We'll see where those storylines come into effect after next week in wrestling. But as far as the new or the specialty segments
Oh,
goes
yes.
for next week, we got wrestling stocks. We are going to
Ooh.
give you some in-depth analysis on who you should put the house on in the year of 2026 and maybe some upper to high mid cards that you may want to pull back from in 2026. We'll see how that all falls in next week's episode of the Superkick Society. But Josh,
Nice.
why don't you tell the audience about what we got for our Mount Rushmore
All
next
right.
week?
For Mount Rushmore, we are going to keep it as a surprise. A Royal Rumble surprise, I should say. Corny, cringy, I know. Master of the segues.
That's why I handed
Thanks.
it off to you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But it is going to be Royal Rumble surprises. So that's debuts, that's returns, that's call ups. Anything that falls under the banner of surprise, we will be picking the top four. Each of us will be picking a top four out of those Royal Rumble moments that surprised us the most. Surprise entrance, surprise moments, surprise everything. We are going to
Anywhere
be breaking
from
it down.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan to AJ Styles, from The Godfather to Braun Breaker, we are going
Mm-mm-mm.
over any Royal Rumble surprise entries, and we're picking our top four.
That we will. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to next week.
Well, that closes up this week's episode of the Superkick Society. I've been your host, Cam Sterling, joined by the lovely Josh Alderman, and we'll see you next week.